Game development can be a stressful and difficult cycle, especially when you start all by yourself and you're trying to create your dream game. The studio behind Kenshi, Lo-Fi Games, was started by Chris Hunt and has stayed on their website. Lo-Fi Games is a small independent game studios in Bristol, UK, which released its first game, Kenshi, in December 2018. Founded by Chris Hunt in 2006, Lo-Fi Games started off originally as a one-man team for 6 years. In that time, Chris struggled to get by as a security guard by night and lone game developer by day. Now that we're in 2021, Kenshi has been officially released for 3 whole years. If a studio has begun to hire staff and an actual team to put together a highly requested sequel, Kenshi 2. Or in this case, it's a prequel as Kenshi 2 takes place before Kenshi 1, but you know what I'm saying. Kenshi 1 was so successful, they had to put together like a whole A-team so that now they can work on Kenshi 2 with a bunch of people instead of just a few. And while the success of Kenshi is inspiring and motivational, how come there haven't been other game studios adopting the same concepts to make a Kenshi clone or competitor? There's almost a knockoff for like every single game, except why is it that there is no other game like Kenshi? Well, that's why I wanted to sit here and discuss that today, as I don't think there will ever be another game like Kenshi. Maybe other than Kenshi 2, of course, but even then, being able to recreate the same feeling that Kenshi 1 gives may just be out of reach. To begin, when Kenshi was just a concept, there wasn't many sources for indie developers to, make games with. In a Reddit AMA Chris did regarding his career, when asked why he chose to go with the Ogre engine, he stated, "Is the year 2000. UE4 and Unity don't exist yet, Quake 3 is the best engine around, and it probably costs $1 million to use. It's a choice between Torque 3D and Ogre. I went with some other engine that began with C, I think. It died. I switched to Ogre, open source, raw C++, and as future proof as you can get. That we managed to stretch it to 2018 is proof of that, even if it doesn't run that good no more." So starting development around the time of 2006 by himself, Chris, had to learn all the ins and outs of programming that he would need to create his masterpiece game. Now in the early days when the game was just like an alpha, it still looked pretty similar to how it does today, just in a very downscaled way. As Kenshi went into Steam's Greenlight Early Access program in 2013, the game had already been in development for 6 years by Chris Hunt alone, and with that there was an early demo with alpha versions. This was enough to impress people to support his game and allow him to work further on putting together a little bit of a team to help him develop different parts of the rest of the game. The game unfortunately was classified as development hell by eager fans who just wanted to know when they could get their hands on Kenshi. In 2013 of the same year, someone would ask about the development time for Kenshi, and Chris replied with, "Well, I don't really remember the date or year I started. It's around 6 or 7 years. It took a long time to build up fundamental systems. It's hardly going to be abandonware. I'm fulfilling my dream of making my ultimate game, and now I'm making a full-time living from it too. It would be silly to give up on my dream and financial future for no reason. Any doubters can just ask old players about it. They will tell you the game has had regular updates the whole time. I don't make any claims to speed of completion, but I guarantee that the game will be finished, and I won't stop until it's done right. Unless I die, but it's not going to be finished in 6 months. There's a lot to do." And he was right, as the game would take nearly 6 years until 2018 when finally Kenshi came out of early access and it was ready to be its own full standalone game. Today, the game sits comfortably with 40,000 reviews on Steam, thousands of players still playing the game daily, and a growing community that is looking forward to the next game in the series. With all this in place, there's many reasons why Kenshi stands out from the crowd and offers an experience that other games just can't replicate. Firstly, in the tags, open world, sandbox, RPG. It's all super original stuff, but the way that Kenshi has all these tags, it could probably go with like 17 of them. There's a survival aspect to the game. There's sort of like a real-time strategy aspect to the game. There's base building. You can farm anything from like food to drugs. I mean, there's something for almost everyone to do in Kenshi. Using just 5 genres isn't really enough to describe the game. I mean, in this world, you start as a flat-footed, egg-headed scumbag who has no levels, all level 1. You can play with one character, or you can play like with up to 50 characters. This can be increased up to like 250 with the use of mods. Almost makes it feel like you're controlling each character like a sim. Like they have very basic AI control of eating and stuff, but it's kind of your job to make sure that they do this, they train, they fight. they steal, they
fuck her right in the pussy.
You can either choose to settle down and live in a town, or you can build your own town from the ground up. I mean, the game even has a full mod creator in the game, which allows you to change properties or values of the game. So if you want a sword to do more damage or change how fast you get XP, the game almost makes it a part of the game to tweak its values to create your own utopia of a wasteland. When compared to other games, it's very hard to do it with Kenshi. Like, you can't compare Kenshi to another game like you would with, say, Call of Duty to Battlefield. Right now, I think RimWorld seems to be the most similar to Kenshi, as its open world has a lot of survival and base building aspects involving characters you train and recruit by yourself, and just like Kenshi, has enough things in the game to make most playthroughs much different from the last and be pretty damn long. Even then though, I just think RimWorld's like the closest thing to Kenshi. It's still nowhere comparable. The two games are very different from each other. Not only does RimWorld take more of an AI approach and look more or less like a survival prison architect, I'm playing, it's a good game, it's a good game. And to be fair, can't really complain about graphics, as well, the Kenshi's world isn't always that pleasing to the eye. The scenery from like location to location can either make you want to throw up, make your eyes hurt, or can be beautiful. There are moments in Kenshi which make the whole world just seem fucking glorious. You can look at a lot of different like cinematics and things done in the game, but really show it off in a good way. There's nothing like watching your small band of hooligans grow into like a huge unstoppable army across this huge planet that you get to explore. And while the graphics are like somewhat wonky in a way, of a lot of visual glitches you'll encounter quite frequently, they also, on the other hand, in my opinion, add quite a bit of charm to Kenshi. I mean, the game just wouldn't be the same without a lot of the silly and ridiculous like glitches or bugs that happen throughout the game. In order for a game to even come close to Kenshi as a final product, it would need to have a similar idea for the world, as well as lore, factions, things constantly going on, and with a lot of different things to set up players to actually want to do this stuff. I mean, like, sure, any game can put in bandits and have you kill them with a sword, but Kenshi allows you to do it by starting with fighting low-level bandits just to survive, and then you go on to getting stronger, and then attacking the actual bandit camps for their leaders' bounties, all the way to trying to build your own base and then defend it all against these other bandits or other world leaders. It's a constant struggle to protect your hash and bread. You can explore ruins and locations to slowly start making progress towards the tech tree, which is sort of how you get ahead in the game. And you can basically go from buying everything to making it yourself, you know, becoming self-sufficient, which is beyond rewarding for many players. I mean, you either play the game from a garbage useless character to a high level, or you play from a garbage useless character to just death. The only way to lose in Kenshi is having all your characters killed, and when it's your first time in a border zone and some starving bandits hit you with sticks until you bleed out, there isn't any mysterious stranger who comes by to save the day, you know? If anything, your best bet is to wait for slavers to start to heal you, and then they'll pick you up and bring you to a slave camp to which you can continue to play as a character as a slave until you either manage to escape slavery or, like before, die. The main reason why no other game can copy Kenshi is simple. When you look at the game, it's almost like the best parts of the games are different ideas just mashed together in a product that traps players for hundreds or for some thousands of hours. I mean, if a game came out like Kenshi or was very similar, anyone would probably play it and be excited for it, but with what Chris Hunt managed to create is just priceless compared to any quick put together cash grab of a game. The closest bet for a new Kenshi is just Kenshi 2. With the new studio at least constantly working on developer updates to show what they've been working on and who they've been hiring to the team. And at least now it's not just Chris, so we don't know if a game will take another 12 years to come out like Kenshi 1, or even if it does come out, if it'll rekindle the same feeling of exploring the world, or it'll just be another game that couldn't live up to the one before it. Either way, I think it'll be like years until we see Kenshi 2, and with that, of course, anything like this game. Let me know what you guys think though. Will there be another game that can either copy Kenshi or, you know, give off the same feeling and all the same genres? Because I think it's just really unlikely. All in all, we've learned that the game is pretty original, even though it's pretty wonky. I'm Cool Kid Croc. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and check out some of my other content. All social media links are down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.